Hey, 7th and 8th grade. This video is for Tuesday, April 28th. Hope you guys enjoyed your weekends and your Monday, either using it as a catch-up day or a day to read something that you enjoy. We're back at it for the rest of the week, getting almost to the end of the crossover and continuing to work through our activities to help you guys develop vocabulary and get to have a little creative expression with poetry as well as checking understanding of the story. Today you do have another basketball rule in your reader's response book, and that's basketball rule number 6. It comes from page 129, and that rule says, a great team has a good scorer with a teammate who's on point and ready to assist. So remember, we're always doing two things. You are telling me what that means, and then you are taking some time to think about what connection you make to it, a text to text, another text you've read, text to self, something in your life, or text to world, something you know about, and then explaining that connection. In your packet, you are going to continue with comprehension questions, thinking about what you're reading or listening to if you're following along with audio. The vocabulary words for page 114 through 134 have a couple that are a little bit unusual. So tipping point might not be in a traditional dictionary. So if you have been using a desktop dictionary, I recommend looking that one up online. And then I am interested to hear, I've been loving on the weeks where you turn in a vocabulary page to see the sentences that you come up with. How can you combine more of these words into sentences? So bonus challenge, it says use 2 of the words in one sentence. I wonder who can use the most of these words in one sentence that actually makes sense. Then finally today, this is the assignment that I think you're really going to enjoy and I'm looking forward to seeing. Your poetry prompt for pages 114 through 134 asks you to look back at the poem that Josh writes on pages 125 to 127. It's written as a snapshot of a moment in time. And so what you're going to do is write a poem about a moment in time for you. So think about 30 minutes of your life, and you'll notice the way that the poem is formatted, there are times. And the poem sort of walks through the times to tell about what Josh is experiencing. So the poem starts here. It's called Game Time, 6 p.m. And then you hear about this story about the cop pulling them over. At 5:28 p.m., a cop pulls us over because Dad has a broken taillight. At 5:30, the officer approaches our car and asks Dad for his license and registration, and then it goes on. So what you're going to do is come up with a free verse poem that follows this same kind of format, but telling a story about something in your day. Now remember, in free verse poetry, you can rhyme, but you don't have to. You can use capital letters at the beginning of a sentence and periods at the end, but you don't have to. A lot of the traditional rules about grammar, spelling, formatting, they don't apply here. You do want to think about your audience. So if no one can understand what you're meaning, then you might want to do some revising. But there's a lot of freedom in free verse poetry to sort of create in your own way. So the only thing that you're really bound by in this particular poetry prompt assignment is to try to use this time format to communicate your ideas. And I can't wait to see what you come up with. If you haven't yet turned in your persuasive essay from last week, don't worry about it. There's still time. Go ahead and get that to me when you can. And if you're struggling with feeling like I'm not sure what else to do here, or I don't really have anybody in my house who can edit this for me, I am happy to do that. So if you want to send it in, you can just say in the comments, Ms. Smallwood, this is a rough draft. I know that it's a rough draft, and I'm hoping that you'll look at it and give me feedback. I'd be glad to do that. For those of you who have turned it in, I'm hoping to edit those either tonight or tomorrow night. So they'll be back to you by Wednesday before our call. And I will look forward to seeing you guys then. Okay, take care.